At the moment, this is what we're allying on. We can come fight again in the future over things that we agree and disagree on, but let's work on these things where we are allied.
Because did you see the report where Biden was in Michigan, but he tried to have a meeting with Islam, whatever, wakasema Buddha boss.
No, that's out.
VA okiomaga.
No.
Drying boss.
No, Michigan, most likely, like Biden might lose Michigan. He still has a path, to the White House, even after losing Michigan, but it's gonna be that much more difficult. It's gonna be that much more difficult. I have very simple advice to all Democratic activists who have access to Biden in what they can tell him. This is leakage now I'm giving you from the community.
This is the career.
This is leakage. The only way that Biden will get, some of that support back, because there's some of it is lost for good, forever. Yeah, but the only way is for not a ceasefire is not even enough. A ceasefire that comes with a two-state solution, and not that two-state solution of the 90s. We're talking of a two-state solution that has Palestinians in full control of their borders, meaning, they control their territory. Yeah. And we go back at the bare minimum. This is the bare minimum to the 1967 borders. And this is the bare minimum. Remember, Israel is already occupying a lot of those spaces.
Yeah, by the way.
So at the bare minimum, we go back to those borders and then have a right of return for all Palestinians who were expelled since 1948 with no conditions. There's almost 10 million Palestinians. There's more Palestinians outside of Palestine than inside.
Don't forget the expulsion even started before that.
The expansion actually started before that.
From even either sides, even before the Balfour Declaration.
Yes,
it started before that.
So it started before that.
So we are talking about probably 1890s.
Probably they're not around with us anymore.
Yes.
But I think when you go to masjids, you'll always meet people who'll tell you, I'm a child of the first Nakba. We have people who came to the US when they were maybe 12, 13 years old. And there's some who are still there. They're old right now. And then someone will tell you, oh, my father or my grandfather was in the first Nakba. So unless these people get a right of return, meaning they have a choice, they could go back, because right now they don't. And then the other more important one, Palestine should be allowed to have its own standing military with all kinds of rockets, weapons, Vifaru, all kinds of weapons to defend itself. So if that happens, then maybe there might be some consideration. So this is leakage I'm giving to the people who are in the Biden campaign, political activists out there. Then maybe you might get back that
boss.
But it's, I have never felt, I'll admit I'm a card-carrying Democrat, but I have never felt this helpless in even thinking about going to talk about vote for Joe Biden. It's that bad. And let me be clear, Muslims are not gonna vote for Trump. Yes, maybe there might be exceptions out there, but they're not voting for Trump.
Which means they won't vote. And if they don't vote, they might as well be voting
for him. It doesn't mean they won't vote. So there are other candidates who are being looked at. One candidate who I think fumbled the bag. He had a golden opportunity.
John F. Kennedy Jr.
RFK.
Whatever his name is.
Yeah, RFK or...
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
Robert, yeah.
He's running as an independent.
Yes.
He's running as an independent.
Yes.
He had a chance, but guess what? He decided to go mainstream. He was like, hey, we love Israel. Yeah. So he's out. The only one candidate who's actually come out to our protests is Jill Stein. And Jill Stein has run in, I think, maybe 2 or 3 of the last, with the Green Party. So he's actually come out to her, and she's been very open on ceasefire. So that's the one candidate who...
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yes, that's the one candidate. So it's not like people are actually being encouraged to go out and vote, because there's so many other seats that you're voting for.
But Ali, and I mean, truth be told, at when you look at it, when you get down to it, it's going to be between, at this point, based upon who we see on the ground, it's between Biden and Trump. So if you don't vote, if say you're a Muslim, and because of Biden's stance, you didn't vote for him, and you vote for not Trump, but you vote for the other person, you're still voting for Trump.
Logically, I agree with you.
And the only reason I say that is because then now you're doing a division. Those numbers that should have been helping to show up where he needed showing up. Then that buffer is not there. And because there are some people who you lost in the last one for whatever reason. Or maybe they were just not there. And then you want to pick up the new voters. And you also want to pick up the people who were just like being laissez-faire.
So logically, I agree with you. And if this was Ali before on October 6th.
Okay.
Yes. But now you see the problem
the point has to be made.
The problem of the depth, because I think the issue, especially with these smaller communities, is that, these guys are going to complain, but the Republicans are very bad guys, so they will still come out and vote for us. But now these guys are realizing that these guys are actually they're not gonna vote for Biden. Now it's sinking in, because when you start seeing, and there's results that has come out of that, because initially ceasefire was with very few, Ilhan, Tlaib, and a few others, members of the squad. But now that people are seeing, people are seeing this reality, so there's more people in Congress and in the Senate who are now saying, okay, hapa ni kubaya, let's do something. Because if it was that thing that, they'll think logically and Trump is worse than us, so they will still come and vote for us. If that's the thinking that was kept,
that is muhadhara,
then because ukienda kwa hizo rally, they are telling Biden in November we'll remember.
Yes.
When the first rally that I went for, when I started seeing placards for Genocide Joe, that's when I knew,
Nikubaya.
Omosh, let me provide context. Just a little bit. Mali unaishi sahi.
Yes.
Askari, militia, military, polisi, wanakuja, wanakutoa, wanakunyang'anya ufunguo, na wanakuambia, you can go drain. Vyokiomaga. And that's that. Ama, you've been granted the right to return. Ama they can come, kick you out, or lock you in your house. They can tell you, muende, mwali munalala muende. Wanaenda, wanaingia room yako, wanadoze, go to your fridge, they eat whatever they want, they do whatever they want, they chill there. They can't even stay there for 2 days. Now, where huwezi enda job? You have to stay there. Hiyo ni maisha gani kweli, brother?
So this is going to be an interesting year.
It's going to be an interesting year.
But when you're technically looking at it, it's very easy for us, like Muslims in Maryland, Muslims in about 45 states. It's because when you look realistically, there's about 5 states or 6 that determine the US election. When you look at it realistically.
Yes.
So you see, it's, the way I look at it, it's very easy for, I want to say, I mean, I don't have the stats of the distribution, but I know Michigan has the highest number of Muslims in the US. But people in this, if you're California and you're not voting for Biden, that's not going to make a difference. If you're
isn't the Muslim population around here in the US like about what, 1%?
It's about 1%. Yeah. People think we're so many, but it's slightly over 1%.
But still, in places like Michigan,
that
1%.
That's where it matters.
So those numbers
Michigan, those numbers can
they can
those numbers can sway an election.
Yes.
So I think in Michigan, Michigan, I don't even know whether it has the most Muslims.
I think it is that followed by Minnesota.
It has the highest percentage.
Yes.
Because states like New York,
or Muslims who are voting.
No. Just population.
Understood.
Even population. Yeah, because New York and New Jersey actually have a very high number of Muslims.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, I think in Michigan they might not even be in the top. They might, but as a percentage of the overall population,
You guys are high.
and that's where the impact is. So in Michigan, they're tilting that. In Michigan, they have the power. You know, like if Biden wins Michigan, I will consider that a miracle. So now he has to fight in these other battleground states.
It's either that or make sure that independence.
Minnesota is not necessarily really battleground, but but I would say it's not necessarily strong Democrat, but it's leaning Democrat.
It's purple.
Yeah.
So I guess what is the electoral college?
So another dangerous state. Another dangerous state is Georgia. You know, people have not thought about it.
Yeah, Georgia can go any which way.
Yes, Georgia, it can be tilted by very few votes.